Michael Doyle from Virtual Edge interviews 6Connect CEO Kevin Carbone about common mistakes made by first-time event managers.
So welcome. My name is Michael Doyle, and I'm with Virtual Edge, and my guest today is Kevin Carbone, who's the CEO of 6Connect. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Michael. Glad to be here.
So, we've covered a lot of different topics here, and one of the ones that I wanted to just talk about a little bit is your do's and don'ts, your particular list, and again, it's probably going to depend on the type of event that somebody is producing to a certain degree, but do's and don'ts, and also things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
What should they expect if they're getting into this?
Well, I think a do is if you're going to launch a virtual experience, treat it seriously. Don't assume that simply because it is a virtual experience that you don't have to have a plan in mind. You still need to be smart about how you deploy your content and how you make that available to customers. And if you do that, then you're going to make for a much better experience for the end users. We see, we try to address that by leveraging our best practices and training people and making sure that they know that they still need to go out and work with the various constituents in their organization or the sponsors to get that content and make it available early so they can build the event and have it be a success. So there's still preparation involved. Mm-hmm. It doesn't require the preparation that the sum total of preparation that would be required to launch a comparable physical event. Mm-hmm. You don't have all the moving pieces and parts and the logistics to manage. Mm-hmm. But from a content perspective, yes, you need to treat it seriously. Mm-hmm. I would say one of the other do's is realize the power of virtual events and experience. Realize that this is a tool that is giving you the opportunity to extend your reach. You're not necessarily limited by having a finite audience that can gather at one time and one time only. Mm-hmm. You have the opportunity to increase the number of people you reach at that event at that specific time, but then extend it, be it for 3 days or 3 months. Mm-hmm. And however, a related don't would be don't simply put something up for 3 months and let it lie fallow. Right. We've seen in our experience with clients, if you have a nice refresh strategy, if maybe you have a 2 to 3 month event that you plan some content refreshes, or simply one live day every 2 weeks, mm-hmm. and where or maybe you throw in some moderated chats, it turns that asset, that event, into something that's ongoing and something that's valuable. And the importance of that, the fundamental importance of that, is creating an ongoing dialogue mm-hmm. with your customers and your partners, mm-hmm. which really we fundamentally believe is what real 21st century marketing is all about, is creating that ongoing dialogue. Sure.
And I can attest to that in several different events that I've gone to, where I've gone back to the event subsequent to the event, and it's just hasn't been a very rich experience, and you didn't have the ability to even reach out and contact people who had been to the event before that you might have met, and you wanted to try to contact them. I will say that one of the points that you made about it being easier, perhaps than launching a physical event is a good point. And a lot of times I talk to folks who produce physical events, and that's what they do every day. And so their impression of producing their first virtual event is kind of the opposite of that. It's like, this is much harder, and I need different people on my team, and that kind of thing. But I think once they go through the first rev of that, the first cycle, then it does become, like anything else, it does become much easier. And but at that first one, you have to caution people, I think, a little bit, that the first one is going to be a learning experience. It's going to be, much harder than the second and the third, and all of the subsequent ones.
I agree. What we're seeing in the marketplace, and you're well aware of this, is a lot of the event management companies have approached the virtual experience providers and said, "Help me! I want to bring a virtual solution to my clients." And so we're working with those event management companies. The other providers in this space are working with event management companies. They're a valued partner, and we know that those folks understand events. And so working with them behooves everybody in the space. And I think that's fair to say. In our experience, we have a very flexible, robust back-end content management system that would allow an event management company to build the event themselves, and we tout that. But I'd say on average, 50% of our first-time customers choose to build it themselves, 50% want us to help build it for them.
Right.
Same goes for the event management companies we're working with. Once they build the first one, to your point, they're suddenly much more comfortable with it, and they realize, this isn't so hard. There's some institutional learning that's gone on here. I can go ahead and begin to do this more easily, and gives me more time, therefore, to continue to offer the higher value add strategic services that I, as an event management company, routinely offer.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, again, it's education and it's an evolution.
So that's going to wrap up our session for today. I want to thank Kevin for being our guest. We look forward to having him back again, and hope you got a lot out of this, and thank you very much for attending.